Alright. Now there's one more place I wanted to check, but if it kind of skips it, I'm not too fussed. I'll be honest. We'll go inside. Is there anything down here? Nope. Just up here. Okay.
What's that?
Most likely the girl up there. We need to find her.
Oh
She's
God. It's gonna be a... Oh.
Stay here.
I get the feeling it's gonna be one of those cringy... Oh, that's the record, isn't it?
Mind the goddamn vinyl, will you? Andrew, it's a trick.
Oh, God! I was half expecting it, but God.
He knows I was about to confess all to the judge.
No, wait.
You protect me. You must.
Wait, this isn't right. No way.
I assure all gathered here today that our town will be free of the devil's grasp. Together, by God's grace, little hope will prevail. My word on it.
This court is hastily convened, but with good reason. If we are to finally rid ourselves of the evil which has infested Little Hope, then we must act today. I accuse you, Mary, of witchcraft. What say you, Reverend?
He's turned on her. Well,
the evidence
well.
as discovered through my investigation is beyond question.
That was
Mary
told
uses
in
her puppet as
confidence.
a familiar to summon and serve the devil.
We have been deceived by a child, by her guise of innocence. This puppet was mistakenly used to
Wrong
denounce
person.
Tabitha.
You're
But
looking
it
at
has
him.
always belonged to Mary and Mary alone. She allowed her own kin to be executed as she watched in silence.
It's called manipulation,
That is not
dumbass.
so. Liar!
Now this tainted child, this creature of Satan has the marrow to accuse me, a man of God, of wrongdoing.
Oh, give over. You've been on Satan's side the whole time.
This is crazy. These people have lost it.
It was never my intention to bring harm to this town or its people. Can you not help me?
What can I do? If I could do something to stop this, I would, but...
Now in her hour of greatest need,
I don't
this
see
child
how.
of the damned pleads once more for the devil's help.
I beg the court's indulgence. Please guide me at this time. I seek your counsel.
Oh, it's Carver 110%.
We have to stop this. The only madness is right here in this court. Carver, he's the evil one.
Damn right.
We have been swayed by malice. The truth hidden from us, but not by Mary. Reverend Carver is the one urging us to believe in the devil.
Be silent.
This is all
You'll
his
not deceive
doing.
us any longer. Your true purpose is plain to see.
Oh
And
yeah,
to see
using the
this
words
town
of God.
purged of all evil.
How typical.
He knows what he's talking about. Carver is the guilty one here.
What must I do to bring Little Hope back into the light? I fear the Reverend and what he is capable of.
You have to stop Carver.
You have to stop Carver. It's him, don't you get it? He's condemning Mary to take the heat off himself.
Exactly.
I know what
100%.
must be done here.
You're about to be brought to
Be
the
still.
light, Reverend.
What is the meaning of this outrage?
What's he been whispering? Oh,
What
is it...
I have just learned sickens me to my core.
Oh!
There are
Revelations!
serious questions which must be asked of you.
Oh! Why am I not surprised, you
How can a man of
Satanist?
God conduct himself in such a way? Mary, your suffering is at an end. You are free to leave.
Fool!
Ha!
Misled by a child! Do
Ah!
not see what she is.
Asshole!
Truth stares at you from the depths of hell, yet you see nothing.
Heaven must have mirror,
The devil's
asshole!
daughter has deceived you all. Not me.
No, you're the manipulating
I see her.
asshole.
I see her. Satan's whore. You will pay heavily for your crimes. I was one of the first to fall under your spell. Now all of Little Hope is mesmerized by you.
Nah.
I have not the words. Without you, I would be dead. You saved me. I shall remember you all my days.
Thanks. You're welcome, Mary. Anytime. Oh, looks like it might be over.
But I didn't save you.
Oh well. Yeah, there's that side of things. But to be fair, I don't think we would have been able to be honest. So that's a regret, isn't it?
You pulled one out there, man. Nailed the priest, got the kid off the hook. Good job.
I want a day's work.
We should go.
Not really, but yeah. Felt like saying it.
Tell me what happened. You see the girl, Mary?
We're all done. Good to go. All thanks to my man Andrew here.
He's a bit overwhelmed, and I don't blame him. Oh boy. Oh, some serious shit's about to happen. Wait. Is it some sort of judgment time? Oh, this is almost like a replication of the events happened in the fire. Oh god. And bam! Bam! Oh, saw that one coming. Yeah. And it's judgment, and there's nothing we can do. It looks like. Judgments against negative emotion. Whoa. Only two, but that's all it takes, it looks like. The demons within you are the negative emotions, negative traits. So, in other words, if we hadn't had any negative traits, they wouldn't have died. Is that what I'm figuring out? There's nothing we could do for them. That's bloody overwhelming as hell.
Hey!
Vince!
I'm talking to you! Hey! You should have stayed away. Never come back here.
Yeah, it's him. I knew it! Knew it was the same person!
I'll never forget or forgive you for what you did.
Figured it out, that one. Well, it's a bit obvious, but even, well, if you put the pieces together. Huh.
I don't want any trouble, okay? We're going. And we're not coming back.
They got no intention
The
of
only
doing
place
that.
you should be heading is hell, you goddamn murdering son of a bitch. That's him!
Oh.
What?
He's still got the gun,
Look
doesn't
out.
he?
That son of a bitch has a gun.
Oh,
What the
shit.
hell is this about?
You seem a little confused.
No, please. Wait. You don't understand.
Huh. I've just put the pieces together.
We're diverting all traffic through Little Hope.
Oh, okay. I get what's going on here.
Okay, buddy? You seem a little confused.
Yeah, I'm fine. I just want to get these folks to where they need to be.
I doubt a short delay will trouble him too much.
So he was the only one who came out with an injury because he was the only one there. That makes sense. No wonder he was the only one concussed. That makes a lot of sense now. Okay, that's starting to make a lot more sense. Right, it's all in his head.
Can everyone just shut up?
Regrets.
This isn't helping us find help or getting us out of here.
Your inner demons, as the curator said. Huh.
Hi there. How you doing? Excuse me, but we're looking for our bus driver.
What?
Have you seen him?
Yeah, that's funny. Sounds like you could use a drink.
Better not, thanks. Need to keep a clear head.
Well, he's not getting a very clear head at all. Facing his inner demons.
Anything you can do to help us would be greatly appreciated.
There's no goddamn us.
So it's replaying the events. Okay, okay, I see what's going on here. But this time it's Anthony. Huh. So it was him all along, okay. So I, oh yeah, okay. And this is where we use the gun, okay. And he would think we're shooting it in because he didn't see anyone else around because there was no one there. Okay.
Hey!
I get that now.
You motherfucker, you! You take a goddamn shot at me? Quit hiding in there!
Hey, cool it. I was trying to help. Didn't you see that thing?
What are you talking about? Ain't nothing out here. Hey! They're coming.
I don't think he gets how bad a mess we're in.
So that would make sense why it looked like he was only talking to one person, because he was only talking to one person, it was only
okay.
him there.
I'm gonna be just fine.
Wow. Talk about a tortured soul. Jeez. It's all in his head. Huh. Wow. Didn't see the curator in the game at all. That's unusual. He was in the first game.
Game over. You're done. For now, at least. You could always try again, see if you can get a different result. That's the problem with demons. If you don't lay them to rest, they will haunt you forever.
Yeah, exactly.
Not a bad effort. Some found redemption, some didn't.
Yeah.
All your doing.
Pretty much.
And you eventually found him.
Yep.
The
Eventually.
bus driver. Maybe he can now put the past behind him. Till we meet again. Maybe in the South Pacific, or the Arabian Desert, or somewhere else.
Who the hell knows?
But we will meet again.
Oh, obviously.
At least one more time.
Tell you what, the doors just close on him. Oh. Ugh. Now, apparently there's an end of credits scene here, so I'm trying to actually skip this useless... Ah, that's probably got a music copyright on it. Come on, Really? I can't skip it? Seriously?
I am death, none can excel. I hold the key to heaven or hell.
Just trying to see if I can skip it. Because apparently there is an end of credits scene. But anyway, that was actually a very interesting story. I do like the fact how they show you at the end about those feet, you know, what really happened in that sense, and you know how it was the whole regret thing, and it made sense. I mean, I was right in one sense about there was one thing either it was they were in coercion as a con act, or the priest was manipulating her the whole time. He was playing on the demons in her head, or this imagination of hers, and he was playing on manipulating her. So it was the Reverend. He was just manipulating the mind of a child, you asshole. Which is pretty awful, actually. That was... But I like the fact how, you know, those little bits and pieces, secrets I could piece together, find out was Vince. Otherwise, he would be the only person that would leave the flowers at Tanya's grave, which made a lot of sense there. You know, it makes sense how there were three people, the ghosts of the, you know, the ghosts of the dead, of those dead family members were coming back. They were being chased by the ghosts, by the ghosts of their own dead selves to say, you shouldn't be alive, we're pulling you back in. Even if it's all in his mind, it makes a lot of sense. You know, and all the characters are representing different reincarnations of those family members, or whether it be friends or whatever, you know, having their own personalities, but the faces are still there. So, you know, reincarnations of life through imagery and all that, but that was actually really interesting. So, actually, there was some good jump scares in this game. Look, if I had to say the downsides, it would really only be just the fact that, you know, there was... Oh, cool. Waiting for this. Apparently there is actually an end of credit scene, which is what I was looking for.
You believe in God?
Absolutely not.
We'll start believing.
That's her from the premonition.
Attacked by, I don't know what.
Okay, so I was right. It's a premonition for next game.
I don't believe it, and I was there.
In Sumerian myth, they say the souls of the dead went deep underground to the House of Ashes, where they lived on dust, plagued by the demons of the underworld.
Whoa! House of Ashes. That's the next game coming. Wow, next year. Okay. Wow. All right. Okay. No worries. Huh. Interesting. Huh. There's probably only two things I have about this game. I've just my brain just faded on the on this. Oh yes, that's what it was. But the first one is those button time. Now I promise you, I was holding that button down. If you can count the series, you know what I'm talking about. There was that moment when I could have saved Taylor. I was holding the button down, and the game didn't respond. And I checked in the settings, you all saw me do it, and that pissed me off, really did. I don't know what the hell it was. I don't know, it's just the controller bugging out of me in that moment, or it's the game. I don't know. But if it responded to what I was doing, I probably would have saved Taylor, or would have had a better opportunity. But I suppose the other two things are, I mentioned there shortly after, there was a chance for us to, there was that a house with the firefly things, the glowflies, and there was a sign that could read something off it. And I don't like that in games where you're closer to the sign than you are the front door, but it triggers a cutscene. You know, when the character's proximity is closer to the sign than is the front door, but it still triggers the cutscene of the house when there's clearly something on the sign you can read, but it doesn't let you, and you can't even go back to it. I did not like that a lot, because it helps build the clues up, you know. But and the other thing I can't stand about these sorts of games, in the sense that don't get me wrong, I understand the whole thing about if you don't understand the language, being whole Shakespearean and whole, you know, Shakespeare vibes and all that sort of stuff, whatever, and poetic, you know, old playwright, old English playwright, poetic sort of speaking. In that sense, I understand and not understanding all those wording, sure. But for those characters not to recognize a British accent, which basically all of them were saying in that past visions or whatever visions in the past, basically most of them speaking a form of British accent, and for none of them to recognize that and call, oh, he spoke kind of funny, for not to say, you know, for to say, oh, he was British but spoke weirdly. Like, to not even acknowledge there's a British accent where it's obvious. But talk about the modern time where they would know their own history in that they spoke British over, like, oh, with a British accent over there at points. I mean, how can you not? Yeah, I mean, I understand the whole thing, like I said, about signifying that, you know, oh, they were they had a British accent, but they spoke funny. Fine. Absolutely fine, because you're recognizing it's from a time where they did have a British, they were British and and had a British accent, but they just spoke in a weird way because it was poetic and they didn't understand. Fine, but to say it spoke kind of funny, not even recognize that that accent is like. That's not just because I'm British. I'm saying it doesn't sit well with me that the game doesn't pay the due respect. It's like saying, oh, we want to me, it seems like they're not acknowledging that. It's like, oh no, we'll it's like we'll say that, you know, both British and speaking poetically is funny. It's weird and kind of funny. There's nothing wrong with a British accent. Speaking in a poetic form, that's a little bit weird. It's old it's an old way of speaking. Fine, I get that. It's one that's very rarely used. I understand it. That is a bit weird. Sure. But I mean, I may be saying cynical because of my British, British heritage. But even so, to not even recognize that at least once in this game, don't like that. I don't like that. The wording, sure. Accent, no. Sorry, not a fan. I'm really now, unless I badly missed it, the curator was not like. When I say in this game, I don't mean in the sections where we actually talk to the curator. I mean the actual game itself. If you know what I'm saying. To my knowledge, he wasn't in there, and he wasn't. If I recall correctly, he was in Man of Medan. I think 2, if not 3 times. I'm specifically remember him in one specific area. I think though he's in 2 or 3 places in total. But I do remember him in at least 1, if not 2, maybe 3. But I don't remember him being in this game with the hat and the overcoat. Which I must be honest, I'm a little surprised they didn't put that cameo in. Maybe they didn't think it was necessary. But if you're gonna start a trend, continue it. Just saying. Like, that seems a bit weird to me. But as far as the buttons and everything concerned, for me, when it comes to mashing buttons, I often screw it up, so I go for the hold button, which worked for 99% of the game, which is actually quite nice. So the quick time events, I'm just calling them that because when when we had the whole thing with the breathing stuff, For me personally, and I'm not sure if this is probably the same with other people, but I certainly found that in Man of Medan that was that there were time events like that in the breathing where I don't know whether it was just me or the controller or the stress I was under at the time, or because of the horror game with jump scares, I'm not sure. But for me, I found that the controls, like the timing, like even if I pressed at the right point, it wasn't responding correctly, and it actually screwed up a few moments where I could have actually done it correctly. But excuse me, I don't know what it was, but the timing went completely out. Even if I pressed it at the right point, it didn't synchronize with the game. If that makes sense. In this game, I mean, except for like one, maybe two times this game, I think only one from actual memory, which I admit it was probably just a double press on my button by accident, like just doom. I was sort of focusing as much on the action and glanced away for a for a fraction of a second, which is all it takes, let's face it. So that's probably on me. But for the majority of the game, I was able to keep the timing on those, and I'm really pleased. I don't know whether they've improved upon that, fixed any glitches that there were, or whether they've just synchronized the timing better on those quick time events, but it felt like, once I did the first few, it was more like, it wasn't like, oh god, I'm going to stuff these up. I actually got confidence in them, because I'm thinking, that's why I was like, really quiet. I'm like, I just concentrate everything, because I'm like, yep, as long as I'm thinking to myself, yep, if I just stop, if I just focus only on that quick time event, make sure I get the button, the timing with my thumb or my finger and get it right, it will work. And all but one, which is probably for my bad, to be honest, let's face it, I'll admit that. All apart from that, pretty much worked nearly flawlessly, which is really nice, because in Man of Medan it didn't, and it frustrated me because the thing wouldn't last. As soon as I had those quick times, I say, nope, that's it, I'm screwed. In this game, a lot more confidence. I'm like, yep, I can do this. These quick time events, I concentrate, I just think solely on that event, I'll be fine. Sure, I was really pleased about that. That was, for me, that seemed to have been improved. The characters are quite interesting. How they start, how they interact with each other. I mean, in some of the other games like in Until Dawn, all that kind of mattered about how they interact with the characters. It seems, to me, it almost seems like the whole principle of the character interaction and relationships with each other didn't matter as much in this game, because it looked basically like if you had a negative trait, like a negative personality trait with a negative emotional trait, you were dead anyway. Once that situation came out to you, you were dead anyway, because it was like that was your ghost, your past ghost or past life ghost said you're guilty because of the emotion. Even though it was in his head, it was like maybe they would have survived if they hadn't had, because you saw those things were locked because they were the negative ones, or they're indecisive, like the things that were frowned upon, if you want to put it. They're not the hopeful stuff or the, courageous or whatever, insecure, angry, all that, where it be overbearing, all this other stuff, you know what I mean? It's just like negative stuff in that, or, by comparison, they were negative. So it looked like the whole premise was not necessarily the relationship between the characters, but more the fact that you needed the characters, and you probably wouldn't realize it till way too late, honestly, until one of the characters actually died. You figured it out, like, oh wow, because if you went through the whole game and Taylor survived, you probably wouldn't figure it out until, if I assume this is correct, you wouldn't figure it out that if they had negative emotional traits or negative traits, emotional personality traits, whatever, emotional personality traits for the sake of argument, that they'd probably survive, or they might be able to get themselves out of it, or whatever. I don't know, because they had the key lock, they had that lock on it. I'm wondering if that was the case. So it makes me wonder. But if that's the case, it means, unlike in the other games like an Until Dawn and Man of Medan, where the relationship has been a bit more important, in this one it's more like, if you'd known, you could have fully worked on, as long as you got the timing right in the quick time events, got, all the button press sequences correct, you saved the characters, provided from then on you figured out the story, did that, like, save the characters and all, or, worked with the characters, saved Mary and all that, but you also made sure that the characters became positive in their traits, or I don't know where balanced. I don't know whether they could have made it neutral or whatever, been okay, but certainly positive, or made positive, continuous, like neutral to positive relationship between the characters in the end, where it actually would have made that people survive or slightly different. I don't know. I'm just theorizing, but it seems a different concept, and it's okay. Like, I think that's fine because they're still using the same principle, but they're molding it around someone's guilt and regret. It's like, oh, I'm going to put these characters in from my imagination into being, resurrect them in my imagination as other people, and we play that out in one night because I'm concussed. You know, I just don't know what's going on. Dazed, I'm confused. Like, that's fine. I mean, it's a little different way, but they're using the same principle, and I think that's fine. You know, but you know, a lot of secrets in this story. You have to go around and really look things up and look just bad. I'm sure I missed some stuff, but yeah, I mean, look, I never like jump scare horror games. I never do. But for things like this, when you can let your mind focus on reading and finding clues and figuring stuff out and all that sort of stuff, you know, I do enjoy that. I do. So it makes, even this game can freak me the hell out, which it has at times. It's the other side of it is that, it doesn't matter as much because I'll just because my controller switched off. I'll have 15 minutes. So, but it's just kind of lost my trail of thought. But yeah, it doesn't always make such a difference. So, but yeah, these stories, they actually are quite interesting, and it means you don't have to focus as much on the horror side of things. You can let your mind focus on the story while you're doing that, and the jump scares will be there, but at least you can tune your mind out afterwards, hopefully with some stories and secrets, works some of the secrets, the background, the characters out logically and all that sort of stuff, which is really cool actually. So I can imagine people who have that logical way of thinking will probably really like the story, enjoy piecing it together and all that. So anyway, we're going to end this here. So thank you all for watching. Thank you for all the support you've shown on this series. I really do appreciate it. Even though I got frustrated in this game, I did enjoy it as a whole. Like I said, I'm not good with horror games, but good story. Horror games is a good story. I can make an exception. I don't make a habit of horror games, as you probably know if you've been around my channel for a while, you'd probably know that. These are kind of the one-offs when they come around, I don't mind. Excuse me. So, but yeah, look, I'm sure you enjoy being the shit games, getting shitless. I'm sure you enjoyed that. So, good for you. Not so great for me, but hey, that's for your enjoyment and entertainment, isn't it? So, yeah, sometimes we need the shit scared out of us, just occasionally, but never too much. Anyway, thank you all for watching again. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time for a new Let's Play. Take care, everyone.